Hello. Today I want to tell you about the worst art job I've ever had. It was a contract work for a popular YouTuber. I'm not going to say who it is. And I ask that you do not speculate. It's been so long since this happened, and I don't think you'll be able to figure out who it is at all. But yeah, I'm gonna ask you not to do that. Okay. Also, the artwork in the background, I streamed it a while ago on my Twitch, so that's why the little PNG tour in the corners going burr, you know? And that's also why there's like a bit of a jump cut in the middle of the Speedpaint, because I did it over the course of 2 streams, and in between those streams I worked on it a little, so there'll be a random jump. Sorry about that. It's a drawing of characters from a D&D podcast. Yeah, the podcast is Just Roll With It. It's a really good D&D podcast. Highly recommend. Also, this story has absolutely nothing to do with that. It's just a whole it's not connected at all. But I hope you enjoy the Speedpaint. I decided to add some like slowed down bits so you get some real-time art mixed in as well. But anyway, the story. So this was contract work for a YouTuber who originally tweeted they were looking for artists and to email them. And so I emailed them with examples of my art. And they got back to me, and they said, yeah, I got the job. And they explained to me what the project was, and they sent me the contract. This was a project that involved multiple artists, and I was one of the last people to join the project, if not maybe the last. I'm not really sure. I joined late. And it was an animation project partially. So I was told that I had to do an animatic for a short clip. The clip I was given, I think it was like 10 seconds long, maybe. And they told me in the email, it could be sketchy, black and white, didn't have to be colored, animatic, it could be really choppy, it could just be still images, really simple. And I was like, okay, perfect. And they sent me the contract, and I remember reading the contract and thinking, that's not a lot of money. But this is my first ever contract job, so it's probably fine. I was not thinking. And I signed the contract, and I figured it's probably fine. And then they send me the Discord to collaborate with the other artists. So I'm put into this Discord, and I'm put into like, how to explain, like a group. And they've already been working on this project for a bit. And so when I get there, and some people have finished their parts, and I'm seeing full-blown, fully colored, really smooth animations with backgrounds, and I panicked. I was like, oh no. Because if I'm the only one with a black and white sketchy animatic like I thought I'd be doing, like I'm gonna look so silly. I didn't want to be the only one to do that because, I mean, this is a popular YouTuber. I thought, oh, this is my chance to be seen by a lot of people. I can't stand out in a bad way. So all of a sudden, I'm having to do this fully colored animation, which is terrifying because I'm not an animator. I can do animatics, but I'm not a great animator. So I was really scared. And people had full character designs that we had to follow, and I was just gonna wing it. I didn't realize it was like a thing. So I was a little bit intimidated and afraid upon joining this Discord, and I was very relieved I only had a 10-second, not even, it might have been shorter than 10 seconds. It was a really short clip. Might have been like 5. I honestly don't remember. So that was scary. I ended up spending a really long time on my part because of that. I think I spent a couple days maybe. And the minute I started drawing, I was like, oh, I'm being underpaid. Oh no. Fully colored animation, right? Well, animation, I say in quotations, as someone who doesn't know how to animate. I tried my best. And I had to do a background. I was not happy working on it. I was like, this isn't good. I regret this. But at the same time in my head, I'm like excited that my art would be seen by a lot of people. And this is a YouTuber I really liked. I still like this YouTuber. So it wasn't that fun, but I was holding out hope, you know what I mean? So then once I finished my thing, my little animation, I sent it off, emailed it away, and I was done. I was free. And a bunch of other people who worked on the project decided we should all make another Discord server to hang out. It's like separate from this one that was made by the YouTuber's team. So we made a separate one and we were all hanging out in there. And suddenly a couple people start bringing up concerns. Everyone starts talking about, hey, that was a lot of work for not a lot of pay, right? Like, that was weird, right? And everyone's like, yeah, that didn't seem right. And everyone started talking, and the more they talked, the more they spiraled, I think. I was an observer of this. I think people started to get really upset and really hurt by that whole situation in which we were all very clearly underpaid. And everyone started talking about how much they were paid for their clip and how it wasn't a lot. And they all decided that we should write an email to the team basically just expressing concern and asking them to not do that again in the future. That's how it started. And then they asked for people's names to be put at the end of the email, so we did like a group email, and I allowed them to use my name in the email, so I was part of this group in the email. I went by a different name at that time though, so even if someone who worked on that project is watching this video, don't say please, and you can't figure out who I am anymore, I hope. So we sent off that email. I genuinely do not remember how long it took for us to get a response back. I know it was a while. I don't remember how long, and I barely remember the response. I was like told a summary, I think. I can't remember. It was posted in the Discord, the response. From what I remember, it was generally just an apology and a promise to do better. And if I recall, the email was not... Maybe it was from the YouTuber? I genuinely don't remember. It was either from the YouTuber or from someone on their team. I don't remember. That's what I remember, and I thought that was the end of it. But people were still upset. And honestly, maybe this was before we got an email response back or after, but eventually everyone decided they wanted to make a call-out Twitter account. And I remember being very uneasy about this because I didn't think it was a good idea, but I didn't say anything at first anyways. So they want to make this call-out Twitter account to talk about and bring attention to the underpayment of artists in YouTuber projects. I guess I think it was supposed to be general, but they made it very specifically about this project and this YouTuber. And I remember they sent they were pitching ideas on what to call it, and they were throwing out like profile picture ideas, and I remember thinking how negative it sounded. And now obviously this is a thing that deserved attention and deserved to be called out. However, I remember it feeling really hostile, especially their profile picture. And I do remember saying something and being like, hey guys, if the vibe is hostility and to villainize this person, then this is great. If that's not the vibe, then I think we should tone it down a notch. And everyone agreed. And we toned it down a notch. I remember throughout this, I felt like I had to rein people in a little bit sometimes. I think what happened was a lot of people were very attached to this YouTuber, and were personally hurt by this person for this situation, whereas I didn't really, like, I liked this YouTuber, but I didn't feel it as deeply as these people did, I think, which I think their feelings are very valid. However, I felt like maybe I was in a position to shed some neutrality on it rather than feeling personally hurt by it, if that makes sense. So I hope that I helped people in that situation and eased everything down a little bit. I hope so. My take on it, on the situation with that YouTuber, I don't think they intended to do wrong or to hurt people. I think they talked about it in the email, if I recall a little bit. So I don't remember what was in the email and what was my own little conclusions I've made. But basically my thoughts on it are that this person wanted to do a video to showcase their community's art. And I don't think they realized that, how do I explain? I think they wanted to showcase art and felt like pay was a bonus. And I don't think they realized that that's not how that works. And I also don't think they realized that being a YouTuber, you have an influence and a power over fans. And I noticed this with a lot of YouTubers, is they don't realize that they're famous. And they don't realize that people look up to them in the way that people would look up to a famous person. And if a famous person asks someone to do something, people are going to want to do it. Especially if it's a famous person you like, right? So I don't think this person realized that by asking for art for a cheap price, people who are a fan are going to take that as an exciting opportunity and not realize they're being scammed. And I don't think that they intended to scam. I think they didn't realize that people would feel like this is an opportunity rather than like a collaboration. Does that make sense? That's how I felt. I don't think this person is a bad person. And I don't think this person intended to hurt anyone. And I didn't think this person intended to scam anyone. I think this person made a mistake, essentially. That's how it felt for me. I think other people may disagree, and that's fine. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. I like to believe in good in people. And I recall something similar being stated by the team, that the pay was supposed to be a bonus, which I disagree with fundamentally, but I also don't think they realized how art works. So we did this Twitter account, right? I don't think it went super far. I can't really recall. I think we maybe received a second email, or the email came after the Twitter. I don't remember. This was so long ago. I believe that Twitter account is gone now. I haven't checked. I also can't find any emails anymore. I went to look because I wanted to read the contract again. I cannot find those emails. It was so long ago, and there was multiple different emails I was emailing through. I cannot find it. So if my facts are not straight, that is why. And also, I tried to go back through the Discord to look at all our messages and see what we were talking about and the timeline of things. And I think they deleted that channel or something. I couldn't find it. So, again, if some facts are inaccurate, that is why. Not that you would know unless you were there. But, just a little disclaimer, I suppose. But anyways, eventually the video does come out. This is actually kind of funny. It was upsetting at the time, but it's kind of funny. The video comes out and there is no artist credits. Not in the video, not in the description. There's nothing. And I remember the video dropped and everyone in the Discord freaking out because we weren't receiving credit after all of that. it's a little bit funny. So we contacted the team, and they added the credits in. I think it was maybe up for like 3 to 5 hours before we got credit, which doesn't sound like a lot of time, but at the same time, views start to, when a video comes out, a bunch of people are clicking on, and they're not going to click on a second time to go return to check the artist's credit, So it had like a lot of views before it got the credit. So that was kind of a bummer, especially because like it's all the diehard fans watching right away, right? So all the diehard fans who maybe are more likely to go and check out artists in the community didn't have that ability at the beginning and probably never came back to see. So that was a bummer. But it was over. The video was up. It was done. We got a semi-response. What's crazy though, another thing, is not once did we hear from the YouTuber. I never spoke to that YouTuber once. Not in emails, not on the Discord. It was someone from their team the entire time, which is a little weird. I feel like if everyone is expressing concern about the way you're conducting your projects, you should address them. Do you know what I mean? That's where I get a little iffy. Again, I don't think this person had any ill intentions. I think they're running a business and they're a very busy person. And in their head, this was a fun activity for fans rather than a job. But it was a job. We signed a contract. We worked with their company. That's a job. I don't think they saw it that way, and I think we did, and that was the miscommunication. I think it needed to be pitched in a way that was expressed as a community project rather than paying artists to do a job for your video. It was all miscommunication. If it was pitched in that way, no one would have had a problem. I think people would have volunteered and been excited to animate and would have done it for free if they advertised it that way. I don't necessarily think that's a good thing to do, but I think it's low-key better than underpaying artists, because then we can volunteer to say no. And obviously, we all signed the contract. We saw how much money we're getting paid. We agreed to that. That's on us. We were naive and young. We also had to legally be adults to participate in this project. So at the very least, no children were scammed in the making of that video. But if anyone's curious, I believe, again, I cannot find the emails. I can't find the invoice anymore. It was so long ago, but I believe I was paid approximately like $1.20 for my like 5 to 10 second animation, which is insanity because I did full-blown color. So that's like a drawing commission, right? But multiple times because it's animation. And it's so severely underpaid. I laugh about it now. It's so funny. Honestly, I was laughing about it then too. I'm not someone who takes things very seriously. So the whole situation was a little bit silly. I was like, this is crazy. Like, it's insane that someone thinks this is a normal price to pay someone. But again, it was meant to be a bonus thing, I guess. It was weird. The whole thing was weird. But yeah, that's the worst art job I've ever had. And the most underpaid I've ever been. Other than the time someone scanned me out of free art. But maybe that's a story for another day. I hope you liked this story. And please, again, don't speculate on who this is. It's fully irrelevant, to be honest with you. It's just a silly story to look back on, at least for me. And to the people who were involved, I'm so sorry you had to go through that. I know it was really hard. And I hope you can look back on it and laugh a little, like I can. I don't know if you can or not, but if you were a part of this, I hope that you don't use this video as a way to call out this person again. It's been years. And I don't know. I'll probably delete the video if people start calling out the person. But yeah, it's just a silly little, a cautionary tale, perhaps. Just because a YouTuber asks you to do art for them, make sure you're getting paid. That's what I would say. And I don't think this person has done anything like that since. They're fine, as far as I'm aware. So yeah, I think it was a lesson learned on multiple ends, on the YouTuber's end and on our ends. Learning experiences. It can happen, you know? Yeah, I don't want anyone to take it too seriously. But I hope you liked the video. If you want me to do more Storytime Speedpaint type videos, I will. I do have lots of other stories of interesting, like, commissioner experiences. There's another art project I worked on that was also horrendous, in a different way to this one, that I could talk about. Yeah, so that's that. I hope you enjoyed the video. It was a bit of a ramble, a little podcast style. I don't know. It was fun to make. I'll see you in the next video, whatever that may be, whenever that may be. And if you want to catch me drawing live, like how this speed paint was done live, go ahead and follow me on Twitch. I haven't streamed there in a bit, but who knows when I will. If you follow me, you'll know. Teehee. Okay. That's it. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.